Yesterday, I got a new personal best in bullet chess, and it's not for the reasons you might think. I was absolutely hammered yesterday on a Saturday, just screwing around in bullet, but I was crushing people because I was playing more confidently. I was playing way faster, and I just kind of believed in myself and wasn't messing around. And I want to show you guys this journey, and I'm just going to run you through some of these games that were absolutely incredible. I played a couple different openings during these bullet matches. In a lot of them, I did play the French defense. And in the exchange French, there's a lot of fun lines you can play where you long castle. I've actually been losing a lot of my faster games when I've been doing that because it's a little too risky and I'm not fully familiar with the theory. So what I've been doing now in a lot of these exchange Frenches, I actually have been castling short castle. I'm up about 3 seconds on the clock here. Bishop G5, Knight C6. We're exchanging some pieces. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm very comfortable with these types of positions because I play the French very often. So are we down a pawn here? Oh, so here's what's sick. So because my opponent traded the bishop for this knight here, now we have all these attackers on this pawn in the center, and we're able to actually win a pawn. Takes, trade the queens off the board, and now we're just up a pawn. And what's even better is I can take this knight and damage my opponent's pawn structure, so I'm already feeling good. We're up a pawn. This pawn is forever a weakness. We play c6 here. c6 prevents their bishop from ever coming in on one of these diagonals, and now we're just going to town here. So we're going to bring our bishop out, activate our bishop. We're going to happily trade off bishops and trade off rooks here, because again, we're up a pawn, and their pawns are weaknesses in the position. We're going to move our king over, so their rook can never infiltrate on this file once we move our rook up somewhere. And then, exactly, so now we can safely move our rook, and their rook cannot come down here. We're going to play h5. We're going to take some space over here, take, and trades are super good for us here. We're going to be able to easily win one of these pawns. Here we play b6 to defend our pawn. They play c5, but we're just going to take the a-file pawn. We're going to lose a couple pawns. We're going to take this. We're going to win this pawn. We're going to win this pawn, and now we're just up 2 pawns in an endgame. I've played an endgame like this similarly before, where we were in a rapid game where I was able to finesse our king and 2 pawns with rook against rook to win in a super clutch endgame that we had. So I'm already pretty familiar with how to win this endgame, and you can see I'm also up on time. 28 seconds versus opponent 17 seconds. We're going to just deliver a couple checks to try and win some time. All right, we're going to check our opponent here, and then in our first game of the night, we delivered a pawn checkmate on the white king. The rook cuts off this entire file, and these pawns are going to slay on the 5th rank with control of all these squares. And the rest of the games, my God, we're playing black again in this game, and we are going to play another French defense. And opponent's not going to take. We're going to take their pawn, and there's a really fun line where if they take here, we can put our knight here, takes, and this position's super fun to play. My opponent did not allow us to play that way. They just took with the pawn in the center. That's totally fine. I decided to play c5 here. If my opponent takes, it's whatever. It's not a big deal. I mean, I also didn't see that they could take, but it's not the end of the world for us. It's definitely better for white, but whatever. We just develop our pieces. We don't want to allow them to fork us here. Knight here. Now they're trying to get a knight in here. Okay, we're just going to kick this knight out. They can play that. We could just play rook b1, and now they just hang a knight. We're also playing very fast. I'm at 46 seconds. Opponent's at 50, but we win a knight. Now I'm feeling great. We hit the bishop, get that out of there. Hit the bishop again, get that out of there. We're going to hit the knight, get that out of there, hit the knight again. And now we've just kind of repelled all of my opponent's forces and get a bunch of space with our pawns. And now we're going to start deploying our pieces. Knight e7, bring the knight over here. This is apparently a blunder because of Knight d5 check, which is actually a very nice move. We can't go back because of discoveries. We can't go up here, so this is actually very bad for me. I really wanted to bring this bishop out somehow. I probably should have brought this bishop out first. I blunder. Opponent misses it, but the position is good for black. Position is still good for black because we're up a piece. We take some more space. Bishop b7 to develop our bishop. We have our rooks connected. This is good. Push the pawn, and I'm moving through these moves fast because it's a bullet game. We're playing quickly. I mean, I have 23 seconds here. Opponent has 29 seconds. I'm losing on the clock. I'm trying to make us some time. I'm trying to just blitz out some quick moves. And opponent counterattacks our knight when we attack their bishop. So, okay, I'm going to take the bishop because if they take the knight, I'm going to take this pawn too, and opponent takes. Now we have control of the open file, and if they don't take, I mean, they take us. We can actually probably defend this pawn, right, with something like this or this, and I think this is better for me. They take our knight, but now we just take this pawn. Opponent can either take this or take this. Either is bad. They decide to do this, though, and just hang a rook. And now we're just up a rook, and now it's minus 13, and we're just dominating. Bishop e1, rook just simply slides back. They can take the pawn, but I don't know why I played this move. I moved back again for some reason. Apparently it's a fine move. We go here, put our knight into the center, and then, I mean, we're just going to simply convert this game because we're up so much extra material. Rook h4, rook slides back to f1. Opponent has 6 seconds on the clock. We have 9 seconds. We can still easily lose this game. We're going to try to just convert. We're going to try to pick up these loose pieces. We're going to try to trade when we can. We can't trade yet. We're going to try to figure out a way to trade. Take the pawn. Knight c2. They cannot take because then, they can take. They can take us with this. Oh, they cannot take because they're pinned. I'm such a genius. We're just going to win this knight too, and the game's about to be over. Rook to d2. We'll happily take the knight. Oh, they could not take this because of discovered check. Oh my god. Dude, these discoveries with the bishop are just absolutely insane. We have 2 pieces defending this, so we're totally fine. We could have just taken the rook too. It wouldn't have mattered either way. They go here though, and now we're going to play knight h6, and we have 1 second left on the clock. Opponent loses on time, and now we're grinding through the 1100s. This game is the game we need to win to hit 1200. And here we go, another defense, but oh god, we did not play the French defense here. Okay, we're playing a little bit different. Bishop e7, it's an inaccuracy, probably because they have some d5 or something like that. Inaccuracy, they play here, we play d6 to try and just to undermine their pawn. Now we're doing well. Now we have d5 coming, and I mean, we're just gonna get the center space. We have 2 center pawns. We're looking great here. Knight comes out, they reinforce their center. I'm pretty happy with my position. We have better development. We have an extra piece developed, and it's our turn to move, so we're gonna play a6, forever taking away this square from our opponent. b5, just take a bunch of space over here. Bishop b7 takes. Rooks see each other, but we have our rook defended by the queen because we developed our pieces. b4, trying to undermine their structure. They can push here if they want to, but then we have this very nice pawn here still, and I think we're going to be fine. We're going to take their pawn after they move their knight back, takes on c3, and now bishop here on the long diagonal. Now, if there was a rook that was able to come over here on the a file, we would have been a little more cautious about letting our bishop get pinned to our queen, but there is not in this situation. They have to spend a move moving the rook out of the way, which I don't think is that useful of a move. And now we're going to play queen b7, put some pressure on their bishop. Maybe we'll bring our knight here and put a bunch of pressure on their bishop. I don't know. Maybe we'll figure. Maybe we'll go here. Bishop slides back. There's no threat on the bishop. They just decided to move their bishop. Rook a8, trying to get the open file with our rook. Knight comes out. We're totally fine if they want to take here. So they're gonna have this weak pawn here forever. And look at my opponent's pieces. They're just all having a party back here. My pieces are a bit more active. You know, they're doing a little bit. Now, to be fair, their pieces are staring down our king side, but there's no real attack here. We don't have to be worried about anything. So knight's gonna come out. Knight here. Now they do have this as an option. Knight e5, queen e7. And we're playing fast here. 40 seconds on the clock. Opponent only has 30 seconds on the bishop here. Opponent lets us trade bishop. This pawn is very weak. h6 prevents any back rank issues in the future. This technically threatens this, but we're not too concerned about that. I actually just completely ignore that and bring my rook in. We let them take this pawn. Position's equal. Opponent's up a pawn, but we have rook c2. And my idea here, I guess, was to try to apply a bunch of pressure on this pawn. Queen b8 check, and let's just say I go like queen here. What's the issue with this? Oh my god, my rook is trapped. Didn't see any of that. Anyways, they take. I go rook here. They completely miss it, so I move my queen out. My idea is, I don't even know what my idea with this is. We trade the bishops off, and now I'm very happy because I just pick up a pawn. This pawn shouldn't be too hard to win either. We can probably target this pawn very easily. I think that's what my game plan is going to be. This prevents the rook from coming to b8, which is kind of what I wanted to prevent here. They just still play rook b8 anyways, because this technically doesn't prevent their coming because the queen was here, which I completely didn't realize. So I have to play king h7. My other option here was to play queen takes. If I play this, queen h5 is mate in 1. But my opponent misses it. My opponent misses it in time trouble. Opponent has 14 seconds. They play queen takes queen in 0.2 seconds, and I snap recapture. We're going to just get our king very active here. I got a little too active there. I got a little too over ambitious, but we're just going to try and trade some pawns. We're going to get our rook to c4, hopefully. I should have done that a while ago. Now we play rook c4, and now we're just going to try and trade. We're going to get our king wedged in here, and rook c3 check. Position's -3. Opponent has 2 seconds on the clock. We have 4 seconds on the clock. King back is an inaccuracy. Now we can just win this pawn. Hopefully I'm able to see it, and we go back to rook. It's an inaccuracy, but now we take the pawn. Coming in with a check, we take the other pawn. We're just completely crushing. Our opponent can take this, but then we take this. We have 2 pawns against 0. Opponent has 0.9 seconds on the clock. Takes, king f2, king f5 attacking their rook, and opponent here loses on time, I think. That's the end of the game, and that's how we get to 1200, but it doesn't end there. Thanks for watching, guys. This video was so long that I decided to chop it up into a few different parts, so make sure you do subscribe for the next part of this video and check out these other awesome chess videos that you probably enjoy too. Thanks again, everyone. Have a good day, you know?